Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 116.
Let's start with the architects of this war. Sima Zhao, Zhang Hui, Deng Ai, men marching towards victory, but, well, under this dark cloud.
Right, and the first piece comes from Sima Zhao himself. He's the power behind the throne in Wei. And when he's debating this invasion, his main concern isn't really logistics. It's politics. It's court psychology.
How so?
Well, he points out that almost everyone's advising caution. But Zhang Hui, he's pushing for it. He's fearless about it. And Sima Zhao sees that lack of fear, that confidence, as the key ingredient for success.
Okay, so he values decisiveness. But then there's that twist, that immediate reveal about his own suspicions.
Exactly. He pulls Xiao Ti aside, confides in him. He says he suspects Zhang Hui has, the text calls it, heterodox ambitions. Basically, treasonous thoughts.
Which is,
right?
Wow, you're sending a guy you think might betray you with a massive army. Why take that risk?
But Sima Zhao thinks he's calculated the risk perfectly. It's incredibly cold. He figures, okay, let's say Zhang Hui wins and tries to rebel. The Shu soldiers, defeated, aren't going to follow a Wei general they don't know. And his own Wei troops, they'll be victorious, sure, but they'll be exhausted, far from home. They'll just want to go back. They won't support some new rebellion out in the wilds of Shu.
So the military goal justifies the political danger because he thinks he's already contained the fallout. That is ice-cold calculation.
It really is. Your grand campaign is also potentially your general's pre-planned downfall.
And this sense of doom isn't just Sima Zhao's private worry. It filters down to the generals themselves, right? Especially Deng Ai.
Oh, definitely. Deng Ai gets his orders, and that very night, he has this incredibly vivid, unsettling dream.
Right, the mountain dream.
Yeah, he's climbing a high mountain, he's looking out over Hanzhong, the target region, and suddenly there's water bursting out right at his feet.
Which feels ominous. So he asks his guard, Yuan Shao, who knows the I Ching, the Zuyi.
And Yuan Shao looks it up. The hexagram is Jane. Mountain over water, obstruction.
Obstruction. Doesn't sound good.
The interpretation Yuan Shao gives is specific. Gain is in the southwest, loss is in the northeast, meaning yes, you'll conquer Shu, gain the southwest, but you will be unable to return. You'll be obstructed, stuck. You won't make it back. Victory, yes. Survival, no.
Man, imagine hearing that right before you launch a massive campaign. And it doesn't stop there, does it? There's another warning.
There is a third layer. Back in the capital, during this huge ceremonial send-off for Zhang Hui, an official, Lu Shi, is watching. And he's just smiling, secretly.
Okay, that's creepy.
Right. Another general, Wang Yang, asks him, so Shu will fall? And Lu Shi says, basically, oh yeah, they'll fall. But then he adds, with that smile, I just fear that they, meaning Zhang Hui and Deng Ai, will both not return to the capital.
And he won't explain further.
Nope. Just a chilling smile. So you have it from the top political mind, from the general's own subconscious via the dream, and from an observer at court. The message is consistent. Success is coming, but it's fatal for the victors.
It creates this really strange psychological space for the commanders, knowing you're marching towards success and simultaneously your own end. Which brings us to Zhang Hui's actual deployment. His methods.
And his methods are defined by absolute brutal discipline. He's got this huge army, over 100,000 men. He knows the terrain is tough, these narrow mountain valleys, so speed is everything.
He puts Yu Yi in the vanguard, son of the famous Shuju.
That's right, 6,000 troops, central route, Ji Valley, and the orders are crystal clear. Fix the roads, build the bridges, clear any obstacles now.
And the warning, if you violate this, military law will apply. No wiggle room.
None. And Zhu Yi fails almost immediately. He attacks Nanzheng Pass, but the Shu defender Lu Sun drives him back using those famous repeating crossbows Zhu Liang designed.
The 10-arrow crossbows. Nasty surprise.
Definitely. So Shu Yi retreats. Then Zhang Hui himself comes forward to check the route, and that's when it happens.
The bridge incident.
His horse literally sinks. The bridge planks give way, collapsed earth underneath. Poor maintenance. He's thrown, nearly killed by the pursuing Shu soldiers, saved only because his guard, Sun Kai, shoots Lu Xun down just in time.
Zhang Hui must have been furious.
Beyond furious. He finds Shu Yi and, despite other generals pleading, pointing out Shu Yi's father's legendary status.
He executes him right there.
On the spot. And his justification is telling. He shuts down the pleas by saying, if military law is unclear, how can I command the masses?
Wow. So was it really just about the bridge? Or was that a demonstration?
Oh, it was absolutely a demonstration.
Yeah.
Pure psychological control. He needed every single soldier and officer in that massive army to understand, my orders are absolute. Your background, your father's name, none of it matters if you fail. The standard is perfection, and the penalty is death.
Terrifying. It certainly sends a message.
Ensures maximum effort, that's for sure. Makes everyone else fall in line immediately.
Meanwhile, Deng Ai, the guy haunted by his dream, he's taking a different approach, strategically.
Yeah, Deng Ai's plan seems less about brute force through one choke point and more about strategic neutralization. His main worry is Jiang Wei, Shu's best general, who's way out west at Taozong.
Right. Cut off the head of the snake.
Essentially. So Deng Ai sends out multiple columns, 4 of them, each about 15,000 strong. Generals like Zhu Jishu, Wang Qi, their job, pin down Jiang Wei, cut off his retreat. Deng Ai himself follows with another 30,000 as backup. It's more about maneuver and encirclement.
2 very different styles, but both moving forward, which makes the situation in Shu even more tragic when you see how they're reacting. Or, well, not reacting.
It's heartbreaking, really, because the source makes it crystal clear. Shu knew this was coming. General Jiang Wei wasn't just sitting idle. He sent report after report, urgent ones.
Repeatedly submitted urgent memorials, I think the text says.
Exactly. And he wasn't vague. He specifically said, put Zhang Yi here at Yangon Pass. Put Liao Hua there at Yinping Bridge. These are the critical points. Defend them now. He had the intelligence. He knew the threat.
But the Emperor Liu Shan, he wasn't exactly focused on military briefings, was he?
Not at all. He was busy renaming the era, from Jingyao 6 to Yanqing 1, important stuff like that. And mostly, he was spending time with his favorite eunuch, Huang Hao.
Huang Hao, the real villain of this piece, internally anyway.
Absolutely. He's the one who intercepts Jiang Wei's reports. He tells the emperor basically, oh, don't worry about Jiang Wei. He's just saying this because he wants more glory, more power for himself, undermining the general completely.
And then he suggests consulting a sorceress instead of the top military commander.
Yes, a Shipo, a medium or sorceress. He tells the emperor, let's ask the spirits what's going to happen. And Liu Shan, incredibly, agrees, puts state security in the hands of, well, a magic show.
So the sorceress performs her ritual.
And delivers the worst possible advice. She claims to channel the spirit of Sichuan itself. And the spirit promises not just peace, but that eventually Wei's territory will actually belong to Shu.
The ultimate feel-good lie. Exactly what a complacent ruler wants to hear.
Precisely. It confirms all his biases, lets him ignore the uncomfortable warnings. So Liu Shan is thrilled, rewards the sorceress, and totally tunes out Jiang Wei.
And Huang Hao then actively hides any further reports.
The text says he concealed them, just buried the warnings. So Shu's leadership deliberately blinded itself. They chose comfortable fantasy over harsh reality. And that right there sealed their fate.
That's why Zhang Hui could afford to be so bold then. His doctrine of speed is paramount.
Exactly. Bingyi Shinsu. He knew, or perhaps sensed, the internal paralysis in Shu. He didn't need to capture every single little fort along the way. He just bypassed places like Yuchang and Hancheng, left detachments to keep them bottled up.
And aim straight for the jugular, Yangon Pass.
The critical gateway. And there, at that pass, we see the direct result of Shu's internal rot playing out in just the most tragic way.
This is where we meet Fu Qian and Jiang Shu.
Right. General Fu Qian, the commander, and Jiang Shu, his deputy, they're holding the pass. Fu Qian immediately argues for attacking the Wei forces as they arrive, while they're tired from the march. Hit them hard.
Makes sense. Aggressive defense.
But Jiang Shu disagrees. He says, look, Wei has too many troops. We should just sit tight, defend the walls, play it safe. Passive defense.
Fu Qian won't accept that, though.
No, he's furious. He basically says, how can we just wait to die? He takes about 3,000 men, leads them out himself, and launches a fierce attack. He actually manages to push the Wei vanguard back for a bit.
A moment of hope, maybe?
A brief one. Because when Fu Qian tries to get back into the safety of the pass, he looks up, and he sees the Wei flag flying from the walls.
No, Jiang Shu.
Jiang Shu had opened the gates. He'd surrendered the pass while Fu Qian was out fighting. He literally yells down from the wall, I've already surrendered to Wei.
Unbelievable betrayal, while his commander is fighting for their lives.
Fu Qian is just incandescent with rage. He screams up at Jiang Shu, calls him a forgetful, disloyal thief. He's trapped outside, cut off, vastly outnumbered.
What does he do?
He doesn't run. He doesn't surrender. He turns his horse and charges back into the Wei ranks. Fights like a madman until he's overwhelmed. His horse goes down. He's covered in wounds.
And his final words. they're powerful.
Incredibly powerful. Right before he takes his own life, he shouts, "I lived as a Shu subject. I shall die as a Shu ghost. Wu sheng wei Shu Chen, si dang wei Shu Gi."
A final defiant act of loyalty to a state that had essentially already failed itself.
It's the absolute moral contrast to Jiang Shu's treachery. The source even includes a poem right after, praising Fu Qian's loyalty to the heavens and condemning Jiang Shu's betrayal. It locks in that theme. Noble sacrifice versus opportunistic self-preservation. Zhang Hui scores a huge win right off the bat. He captures Yang'an Pass.
And this isn't just taking territory, it's a logistical goldmine. The text says he gets this massive hoard of grain, weapons, supplies, everything an invading army needs.
So big celebration among the Wei troops, right? They've got their foothold, they've got supplies. Must have felt like things were going their way.
Oh, definitely. There was probably this sense of momentum, maybe even overconfidence. But that feeling didn't last long.
Because things started happening.
Right. Almost immediately the mood changes. For 2 nights running, this loud shouting starts up from the southwest. We're talking the middle of the night, the third watch.
Shouting like an army.
Like a huge force, but the patrols they send out, even 10 miles out, find absolutely nothing. Nobody there, just noise. Imagine how unsettling that is for soldiers in enemy land.
Yeah, that's deeply creepy. So Zhang Hui, he's not just going to ignore this. He's known for being smart, strategic.
Exactly. He can't let his army get spooked by shadows or, well, sounds. So he takes a large cavalry patrol, hundreds of riders, and goes to investigate himself towards the source of the noise.
And what do they find? Not an ambush, I gather.
No, something stranger. They reach this mountain and the atmosphere is just thick. The source uses descriptions like killing energy, sorrowful clouds, dense mist. Really oppressive.
Okay, so location matters here. Where are they?
A local guide tells them this is Dingjun Mountain.
Dingjin Mountain. Okay, ring the bells. That's where the famous Wei general Xiaoyan was killed way back, wasn't it?
That's the one, decades earlier. So instantly the place is loaded with history. Violent history. You have to wonder, are they dealing with an old Wei ghost or something else?
And just as they're pondering this, probably feeling uneasy, they decide to turn back. And that's when it happens.
That's when it hits the fan, so to speak. A fierce wind kicks up out of nowhere, and then suddenly it feels like thousands of phantom horsemen are charging them from behind.
Phantom horsemen.
Yeah, spectral riders. Soldiers are knocked off their horses. Helmets go flying. Total chaos. It sounds like a devastating attack.
But there's always a but with these things.
But nobody's actually hurt. No spear wounds, no arrow strikes. They pick themselves up, look around. Nothing. It was just the wind. A terrifying directed whirlwind.
Wow. Okay, so pure psychological warfare. How does Zhang Hui process this? Does he think it's a shoe trick?
Well, he thinks it through. He looks around the area. There's only one really significant structure nearby, the tomb of Zhuge Liang, the Marshal Marquis.
Ah, the big one.
The biggest. And Zhang Hui, this pragmatic general, his conclusion isn't clever ambush. It's, this must be the spirit of Zhuge Liang.
That's quite a leap, isn't it? From wind to a specific ghost. Why Zhuge Liang?
I think it's the nature of the event. It wasn't just random chaos. It felt intelligent, directed, but non-lethal. It wasn't about destroying the army physically, but stopping them, warning them. And Hu Shu's history embodies that kind of strategic, almost supernatural foresight and concern for the land.
Only Zhuge Liang, really.
Exactly. Plus, a human ambush likely would have pressed the attack, tried to inflict casualties during the confusion. This felt different, more like a powerful rebuke.
Okay, so Zhang Hui believes he's been warned off by the spirit of Shu's greatest hero. What does he do? Attack the tomb.
Quite the opposite. He completely changes tack. He goes from invader to, well, supplicant. He immediately orders preparations for a great sacrifice.
The Dikeya, Zai Tai Lo. That's a very serious, very formal offering. Top-tier stuff.
Absolutely. It shows immense respect. And he goes personally to the tomb to offer it, to pay his respects.
And the result?
Yeah.
Does the spirit accept?
Instantly. The moment the sacrifice is done, the source says the crazy weather just stops, the wind dies down, the clouds scatter, there's a gentle rain, and then the sky clears completely.
Like flipping a switch, the spirit is appeased.
Appeased, yes. But the interaction isn't quite over. There's a condition attached.
Delivered how?
Through a dream. That night, Zhang Hui dreams he sees Zhuge Liang. Classic description. The silk scarf, feather fan, crane cloak. the works.
The iconic image. What does the spirit say?
It's fascinating. The spear basically acknowledges the reality of the situation. Shu Han's fortunes are declining, the mandate of heaven is shifting, the invasion is likely inevitable.
So it's not trying to stop the invasion itself.
No, it seems to accept that. But it imposes a moral rule. The spirit urges Jiang to pity the ordinary people caught in the middle. The key message is, when you enter the territory, you must not kill innocent beings.
Don't kill civilians. A direct command from beyond the grave.
And this is maybe the most powerful intervention. Zhu Liang's spirit can't save Shu militarily, but it can influence the conduct of the war. It sets terms.
How does Jiang react to the dream? Does he just shake it off?
Not at all. He takes it incredibly seriously. This wasn't just a weird dream, it was a mandate following a direct supernatural encounter. He immediately orders a change in policy.
What kind of change?
He has a white banner made, inscribed with, "Protect the nation and secure the people, Bao Guo Amin." And crucially, he issues a strict order throughout the Wei army. Any soldier who harms or kills a civilian will be executed, full stop.
Wow. That's serious discipline for an invading army. Did it work?
Amazingly, yes. The source states that the people of Hansong, seeing this disciplined army that wasn't pillaging or murdering, actually came out to welcome them. The Wei army violates not a single hair of the population.
So Zhu Liang's ghost effectively dictated the rules of engagement for the invaders.
Pretty much. The source even includes a poem praising how the dead minister was still protecting the people of Shu years after his death by influencing the enemy general. Jiang is now, in a way, enforcing Zhu Liang's ethical code.
An incredible situation. Okay, so Zhang Hui is part of the invasion, is now operating under this ghostly moral compass. Let's pivot. What's happening on the Shu side? Where's their main general, Jiang Wei?
Jiang. He's facing the harsh military reality. He's stationed out at Tazong, kind of on the frontier, and he gets hit by the Wei forces almost immediately.
How does he fare initially? He's supposed to be Shu's best general left.
And he shows it. He engages Wang Qi, the prefect of Tianshui. Wang Qi tries to bluff him, saying there's 1 million Wei soldiers heading for Chengdu. Jiang Wei doesn't buy it and defeats him in less than 3 bouts of combat. Quick work.
Okay, so he's competent, holding his own.
Then he takes on Deng Ai, who's one of Wei's top commanders, alongside Zhang Hui. They fight for maybe 10 rounds, basically to a standstill, a strategic draw. Jiang Wei is doing okay tactically.
But war isn't just tactics, is it?
No, and that's where it unravels for him. While he's busy fighting Deng Ai, he gets terrible news. Yang Shen, another prefect, has switched sides or acted independently and burned Jiang Wei's crucial supply depots back at Gansong.
Ouch. Loss of supplies.
Yeah.
That's potentially fatal.
Catastrophic. He has to break off the fight with Deng Ai immediately and race back to try and salvage anything. He chases after Yang Shen.
But it's a trap.
Feels like it.
Okay.
He chases Yang Shen up this mountain road, pushing hard, but then logs and rocks start raining down on him from above. An ambush blocks his path.
So he's forced back.
He turns back to regroup with his main force, only to find disaster. While he was gone on the chase, Deng Ai had swept in, defeated his army, and now Jiang Wei himself is surrounded.
Just like that. His force is shattered.
Pretty much. And then the really bad news starts pouring in. He gets the full picture of what's happened across Hansong.
Which is?
It's a total collapse, largely due to betrayal. Yang'an Pass, the place Zhang Hui took, it didn't fall because of some brilliant assault. It fell because the Shu general defending it, Jiang Shu, just surrendered, handed it over.
Betrayal. What about other commanders?
Well, the source makes a point of mentioning General Fu Qian, who died fighting bravely at Yang'an, so there was still loyalty and courage. But he was the exception. The commanders of the other key forts, Lichang and Hanchang, they also just surrendered.
So Hanzong, the whole defensive region, is basically gone. Not conquered, but given away.
Given away through betrayal and perhaps a loss of will. This is the rot inside Shu that Zhu Liang's ghost, focusing on the invaders, couldn't fix.
Jiang Wei must be despairing. He's surrounded, his supply lines are cut, and the entire region he was meant to defend has collapsed behind him due to internal failure.
Absolutely. He tries one desperate move, a counterattack, to try and retake Hanzong. But his way is blocked again, this time by Zhu Shu, another Wei governor, who's dug in at Yimping Bridgehead.
So he's trapped, Deng Ai behind him, Zhu in front.
Exactly. This is where the source records him crying out, "Heaven destroys me." It looks utterly hopeless, cut off, outnumbered.
Is this the end for Jiang Wei?
It looks like it. But then salvation comes from an unexpected place. Not from Chengdu, not from some grand strategy, but from one of his own officers.
Who and what's the plan?
His vice general, Ning Su. He comes up with this really clever deception. He tells Jiang Wei, look, Zhuge is blocking us here, but his main responsibility, his home base, is Yangzhou. Let's pretend we're making a sudden dash for Yangzhou through this other valley, Konglonglu.
Play on Zhuge's priorities.
Exactly. Ning Sui gambles that Zhuge is more worried about his territory and his career than holding this bridgehead against Jiang Wei.
Does it work?
Perfectly. They make a big show of heading towards Konghongu. When the Souths report this to Zhuge, he panics. Just as Ning Sui predicted, he basically says, oh no, Yangzhou is my responsibility. If it falls, I'm ruined.
So he pulls his troops from the bridge.
He pulls the bulk of his army away from Yinping bridgehead and makes a mad dash back towards Yangzhou to defend it, leaving only a small force behind.
Giving Jiang Wei the opening he needs.
The perfect opening. Jiang Wei immediately spins his army around, races back to Yinping bridgehead, quickly defeats the token force Zhuge left behind, and burns their camps to add to the confusion.
Brilliant. Zhuge realizes he's been tricked, presumably.
Oh, yeah. He tries to rush back, but it's too late. Jiang Wei has gained that crucial half-day lead. He's slipped the trap. A masterful piece of tactical maneuvering based on psychological insight.
So a moment of triumph. He escaped.
He escaped the immediate encirclement, yes. And he manages to link up with some reinforcements led by Generals Zhang Yi and Liao Hua, who were trying to reach him.
Good news, finally. Support from the capital.
Well, yes and no. He meets the reinforcements, but Zhang Yi delivers the grim truth about why more help hadn't arrived sooner.
What story?
It's the court politics back in Chengdu. The emperor has been completely swayed by the eunuch Huang Hao, who seems to have undue influence, and also by, believe it or not, fortune tellers. They basically told the emperor everything was fine, no need to send major reinforcements.
Oh, come on, fortune tellers. While the kingdom is collapsing.
That's what the source says. So Jiang Wei was left hanging not just by betrayals in the field, but by incompetence, corruption, and superstition at the very heart of the kingdom.
This is the real tragedy, isn't it? You have Zhang Hui being guided by the ghost of Shu's greatest hero towards ethical conduct, while Shu's own leadership is failing its soldiers through sheer ineptitude.
It's a stark contrast. The spirit world seems more functional than the Shu government at this point.
So Jiang Wei's escaped. He has some reinforcements, but Han Shang is lost, and the court is useless. What's the next move?
The reality is grim. Liao Hua, one of the veteran generals, states the obvious. They can't hold this area. It's overrun, devastated. They need to fall back to the last major defensive position Shu Han has.
Which is?
Jiang. Sword Pass. This legendary, almost impregnable mountain pass. A natural fortress.
The last stand location.
Pretty much. Jiang Wei agrees. They pull back their forces, consolidating what they have left, and make for Jiang, and it's just in time. As they get there, the combined forces of Zhang Hui and Deng Ai arrive, finding the Hansong region empty, their prey having escaped to this formidable pass.
So the chapter ends with Jiang Wei reaching Jiang, but with the full might of Wei closing in.
Exactly. It sets up the final confrontation.